The Colorado Avalanche end their 3-game road trip with a loss in Tampa. That's the bad news. The good news is they head home for 7 in a row. So let's talk about all of that on a new episode of Locked On Avalanche coming at you.
Your Locked On Avalanche, your daily podcast on the Colorado Avalanche. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Locked On Avalanche, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Chris Micieli. Joining me, as always, Mr. Zach Pearson. Thank you for tuning in, making this your first listen of the day, and for making the Locked On Podcast Network the #1 sports podcast network in the country. If you want to get in on our conversations, join our Everydayer Club. The link is in the show notes below or on the screen if you're watching over on YouTube. Sign up, get access to our Discord channel, our subtext chat, and exclusive content that Zach and I put up all throughout the week that you can only get if you are an everydayer. So go sign up for that today. All right, sir. First time all season, Avs lose 2 regulation games in a row. And therefore the season is a bust. And I fully expect them to be low 20s on your next power rankings and all of the catastrophic things that we're going to discuss.
Well, Tampa's obviously #1 now. That's just that's how this works, right?
Well, I think they're going to be going up. You had them at 9 last week. I think they're probably going to be going up even higher.
I will tell you, like I said, I do these every day, and they have already made a pretty significant stride forward. This does help their case for sure.
Yeah. They were the better team. They were the better team. This was tough. This was a tough game. The only credit I will give the Avalanche is, as tough as a game as it was, you were still in it. You still had miraculously, you still had some chance to win this thing, although you didn't really feel like it was coming.
No.
You know, those games where it's the opposite and the Avs are in the lead and it's a close game and you feel like it's going to be tough for the opponent to get that goal, to get back in it, to tie it, whatever the case may be. We were on the other end of that one.
100%.
You knew, I mean, it was a tough game all along. Tampa was just in control of this thing. And the Avs just, they outshot them, which is kind of miraculous. But
considering they didn't control the puck.
Right. But let me get over to Money Puck, because I'm really curious to see how many were high danger, because I don't think there was a lot. It was kind of an easy night for Vasilevsky overall, and that's the credit. They had 5 high danger chances.
Well, how many of those came in the last 4 minutes? Because I don't think the Avs turned it up until that point. Outside of the fourth line, I actually will give the fourth line some credit. Bardakov with his boneheaded slash. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what was going.
It's a problem for him though.
There.
He does that. He does.
But his play to set up the Parker Kelly goal, I thought that was brilliant. That was a wonderful play. He holds that perfectly timed, patience, not like the foresight to see where to go, gets that up to Kelly, and that's great. Follows it up with that slash. Otherwise, though, I liked the fourth line through the majority of this game.
Agreed.
The rest of the team did not turn it on until just under 4 minutes left. And then all of a sudden it was like passes were connecting and there was more aggression and there was more happening. I'm not sure where that was through the rest of the game. And like you said, credit to Tampa, they played a really good game. The Avs just looked disjointed through 56 minutes of this game.
Yeah, they never found that extra gear that you're kind of used to them finding. This was another first period that was just kind of like blah.
Yeah.
And I thought they came out in the second period a lot better to start that second. Maybe the first half or third of that second period, I thought they looked better. And I never really felt like this was going to be a game that they were going to completely take over. Like Tampa is not that kind of team where they're going to allow you to do that. But I thought it would be a game where, okay, once the Avs got their legs and got going, it would be that back and forth. And, one team would have kind of like the upper hand for moments at a time. The other team would take it back. That never happened. This was Tampa. Okay, like we gave you a little bit of time to take this, not even take the game over, just kind of like get into a flow, and we're going to take it back. It was incredible to me, the amount of offensive possessions, sustained offensive possessions Tampa had.
Yeah.
And it was one of those games where it was nerve-wracking because they were finding open ice. They were finding holes in the Avalanche defense, and they were getting really good looks. And one of those games where you could see possessions materializing and you could see the goal coming before, long before it actually went in the net.
Yeah.
They were on their game tonight. Tampa was on their game. Avs had to play, I won't say a perfect game, but
certainly
a better game than they did. A better game than they did. And this was going to be a tough one to win. And, Tampa's on a roll. This was 8 in a row for them. So, they don't want that winning streak to stop. So they're not going to roll over just because you're the Avalanche. They're playing at home in front of their home crowd. This was going to be a tall task. I just didn't have it. They just didn't have it today.
Well, and the same thing that we talked about last game plagued them again this game. Your special teams did not do you any favors tonight. You give up a power play goal to Tampa, and you don't convert on either of your power plays again. And special teams we keep talking about it. I did think that first power play looked decent at times. Again, like they were actually cycling. I even turned to my wife. I'm like, oh my gosh, they listened to Chris. They're moving around the zone. They're not just stationary on the top unit. But nothing comes of it because why would it? And then the second power play just didn't look good again. And so you're in a really funky position right now, and it's not a good spot to be in.
You know what they have to do? Go watch this tape of what Tampa does on the power play. Just go do that.
Oh my gosh.
I love what they do on the power play. It's like they start out here and just suck it in, and they slowly go closer, closer, closer. They get that pass out to Kucherov, and you could see them doing it all the time. The Avs kind of like they combated it by putting like Drury, like any time that Kucherov would get the puck, like he'd just go after him.
Yeah.
Don't let them but still they would do that where they just suck it in toward like closer and closer to the net. And that's what I'm saying. Like you saw these goals materializing and you saw these plays opening up, and they were scary. They were scary because they had some really good possessions, and Avs were just chasing, it seemed like, all game long. All game. It was tough. So I say that kind of half joking because I don't know if that suits how the Avalanche want to do their power play, but that was an impressive power play. And they're not even like top 10 in the league either, Tampa. I think where are they, like 15, 16? They're like middle of the road.
But on the broadcast too, in their last 10 power plays, they went 5 for 10. And so they're not overall great this season, but they have turned it up. And honestly, that seems to be sort of what Tampa's done just as a team this season too, because they started out a little rough at the beginning of this season.
They did.
And they've come on strong recently. Their power play is doing the same thing. So the Avs have to figure something out. And we talked about it ad nauseum last episode. We'll continue to talk about it all the time because it's a huge point of frustration. You have to do better. And I hate to say they're still the number one penalty kill, but it's kind of getting less good.
It's probably getting closer. Yeah, they've given up a few the last, this road trip. I was saying how, Tampa was just, making their opportunities work for them. And I think this is where the Avs are struggling a little bit, is like when they have, it's going to be tough to get, really like grade A chances in this game. When you got them, you needed to, send them home, and they didn't. That one play from Chris Drury on the forecheck when he knocked the puck out of the air, found Val, who found Natchez, but it was a tough pass to him. He still got it on net, but if that pass was a little bit more like, behind him a little bit more, not in front of him so much, who knows? I mean, Vasilevsky's all world, still could have made a great save. But it's things like that. It's opportunities like that that slipped away. And it was one of those games where it's like, I don't know if you're going to get another, like that could have been your best chance because the goals that they got were just, that goal, the first one from Kelly was just kind of like a scrum in front of the net, but hey, he got it. He put it home.
Yeah.
And then the Nelson one was a knuckle puck off a minor deflection.
The Nelson one I loved. I'm asking the Avalanche to do this more, especially with how much they were passing tonight, passing up on shots to pass the puck. Just look at what Nelson did. I know he didn't have anybody to pass to, but he saw a chance, he saw a net, and he took a shot at it. Just shoot the puck, especially on the power play, man. Like,
remember that Nacious one?
Yeah,
the extra pass that he made.
Yep.
Like he's off on the right wing and he passes it. It's like not the game to do that.
He did not have a wide open, clean look. But the other thing is too, as you're watching this game, how many times did Vasilevsky leave a rebound just right with an open net next to it and like,
but nobody's there.
Panic scrum.
Nobody was really there to clean up.
None of this worked out the way that we wanted it to. It's
their heat map over on Natural Stat Trick shows a lot of traffic in front of the net, but it didn't seem like it.
Yeah,
it really didn't seem like it to me. Yes, you got the goal in front of the net. That might inflate it a little bit. I'm not sure, but
well, and again, the last 4 minutes they had some good chances right up close.
Yeah,
and I think that's probably going to inflate that a bit more too. Brock Nelson gets rewarded for exactly what I want to see happen. Take the shot.
Yeah. I was yelling the same thing. When you have the opportunity, you gotta, and that's weird saying that to a team who did get 33 shots on goal. Right. 7 in the first, 13 in the second, 13 in the third. But again, it just didn't seem like your typical Avs offensive production where you're just rolling. Lines are rolling. It didn't have that vibe to me, and it just felt like Tampa was the one who was getting multiple shots on net. We'll get to kind of deeper stats later in the third segment, but I don't know, man. Like just good to go home. I mean, we kind of knew like it was going to be a tough road trip. You're playing 3 really good teams.
Yeah.
And to start it off the way you did with a win is great. So you're like, hey, you want to have this record flipped for a road trip, right? Yep. So when you get the first one, you're like, oh, great. Just win one of the next 2. And that's exactly what you want for a road trip. Anything else is just bonus. And not only do you lose those 2, but tough fashion.
You do.
Like if you play that like knockout game and it's just back and forth and you end up on the wrong side of the scoreboard, I think you can live with that. But I just feel like the play, like what we watched the last 2 games, is not what we've been used to this far in the season. It's a lot different game.
Before we go to the next segment, I do just want to say I do feel a little ridiculous because I feel like I'm complaining about a team that only has 4 regulation losses on January 6th. But I feel we've got legitimate need to be frustrated with the last 2 games' performances. And I do still appreciate everything they've done up to this point. I just want to make that clear.
Well, yeah, I mean that's you can still be upset over a loss, and I mean we're not backtracking and being like, oh, everything that they've done up to this point means nothing now. Like no, like it means a lot. But I think that they've spoiled us. Be like, hey, you should play like that all the time. That's also very difficult to. Actually, I think Mosier said it in the post game. He was like, we are in kind of like the doldrums of the season right now, and that's what this game kind of felt like.
It did.
That's a really good way to put it. Really good way to put it. So, all right, let's get our first break in here. We'll talk about the 7 games coming up at home, and of course more with this game and the loss to Tampa, and we'll do that next. Let's hear from FanDuel. The wild card round is here. And the Denver Broncos will not be playing in that round, by the way. Just so everybody knows. And FanDuel is officially in playoff mode. Every game day during the NFL playoffs, FanDuel is giving customers even more ways to get in on the action. Because right now, every NFL playoff game day, FanDuel users get a profit boost pack waiting for them inside the app. Each game day, you'll see a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts. You can apply to the bets you like most. Open your profit boost pack. Say that 10 times fast. First thing on game day and see what boosts you want to apply. Make your picks that apply your profit boosts to go. I see how many times I'm saying this. I can't even fumbling over it. To go over even bigger payouts while the playoffs get rolling. So visit FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day with FanDuel. Yeah.
Like the Denver Broncos, you brought it home in the fourth quarter. It was a little iffy there for 3 quarters, but in the fourth, nailed it.
I fumbled it like the offense and then kicked the field goal at the end. All right. So I just want to bring up these 7 home games that the Avs have coming up. We didn't, just the way that the schedule was, we didn't really go over the January schedule like we typically do in the beginning of the month.
Oh, that's true.
So, the next 7 are at home, which, by the way, follow real quick. The next, so after that, not to get too far ahead, but the after the 7-game road home stand, you have a 4-game road trip, by the way. So it's like feast or famine here in January with 3-game roadie, 7-game homestand, 4-game roadie. Thanks, NHL.
You know what? I think that's, I don't know.
Right.
I kind of like that.
I don't, yeah. I'll always go back. There was a few years ago, the Avs had a 5-game road trip, and they were like back and forth, like winning, losing, and they went on a road trip, and they won all 5 games.
Yep.
And that kind of like just got them going. So road trips can be good.
Yeah.
For the homestand, however, this is what you got coming up here. No back-to-backs, so that's nice. Your next game, that is on Thursday. That's at home against Ottawa. On Saturday, Columbus. On Monday the 12th, Toronto, where you will be wearing your Nordiques uniforms.
Yes.
Then you have 3 days off.
Interesting.
At this point in the season, having a 3-day break is nice.
Yeah.
And then you're playing Nashville. And then the week after, you have Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That is against the Capitals, the Ducks, and the Flyers.
Yep.
So all of that, you are playing 1 division game at home, and really only 2 Western Conference teams in that entire homestand. A little wild.
Yeah.
Little different. But I think that, being at home is where the Avs, that's been their bread and butter this year.
Yeah.
And then you're going up against teams that, you should have the upper hand against. I think Ottawa you do. Definitely with Columbus you would. Toronto, while they're playing better, they seem to struggle.
Yeah.
Right? Nashville is playing better.
They are, but
they are. So, but they're gonna wanna turn it up and gain some points on you. And then I think that week there, Capitals, they're a good team. Anaheim coming back down to earth a little bit, but they're still up there. And then the Flyers are an up and down team, but they can put up some points. So, what do you think here out of 7 games? What do you be happy with?
Man, well, with how they've played at home, I feel like points in all 7.
That'd be nice.
Almost has to happen. If you win 5, I'm happy though. I don't know which 2 you drop. Honestly, just because I feel like matinees are always dropped and you have a weird Monday 2 p.m. puck drop on
I didn't even
the 19th.
look at the times.
Yeah, because it's Martin Luther King Day, so 2 p.m. puck drop. That might be an interesting game. That might be one to circle and really just be, hey, what's going on there? But I think 5 wins, and you should be able to push the other 2 to overtime and get points at the very least. But I think I would be happy with 5 out of 7.
I'm looking at the Capital schedule here. I want to see. Okay, I want to see what the game is before that, because if they got to fly across the country, they're at home against the Panthers 2 days before. So I don't think that'll really come into play too much for them. If they have a day off in between,
Should be all right.
An early game, if they were playing the day before, I mean, I can't imagine a back-to-back with the second game starting at
2 p.m.
2
No
o'clock.
way.
That wouldn't be fair to Washington, but
No, not at all.
I'm with you, man. Like when you're at home, you should be expecting to get points in as many games as possible. And the way the Avs have been playing at home, that's not out of the realm. But we're looking ahead for those games. I can guarantee you right now, because the Avs have lost 2 in a row now. Their focus is always on the next game. They don't want that to go to 3, and they especially don't want that to happen on home ice. So I'm wondering how this game is going to go for them, because I think they're going to come out firing. I think they're not going to be happy with how they played in this game against Tampa, and I think Ottawa is going to be the one that they take it out on.
Which, like, I really hope they do, and I hope this is a right the ship kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
You feel a little bad for Ottawa if this is what happens, because that is going to be a goaltender under siege. But
you hope so.
You hope.
So.
Like I said, if they do what we hope. But yeah, I really do. I think this is for sure Thursday night. Good game for them to just go out there, take control, play their game, reset a little bit too. Just get those passes back to tape. Get the moves that you're making, get the plays, coordinate a little bit better. You're not throwing it way up ahead of each other or way behind each other. Drop passes more on target, better communication. Like all of these little things that they did not do well tonight. Fix that. And they're all fixable. And this is a great opportunity to do it. And then, just rebuild, get another winning streak going.
Yep. All right, let's get our last break in here. There was some updates on some injuries, namely the Landeskog and Devon Toews one. So I want to mention those quickly. We'll get to some stats. And of course, our subtext people and our sound checks. We'll do those next. So updates on Gabe Landeskog. There's really more of an update on Toews than there is for Gabe. Toews was given the week-to-week designation, but thinking that he will probably return before Landeskog does. Surprisingly, the Olympics is not off the table for Gabe Landeskog yet.
I saw
Maybe
that.
Maybe they're just holding out. I mean, you have a month until the Olympics come around. So maybe they're just why announce it now? I mean, if the Olympics were in 2 weeks, I think you would hear it.
Yeah.
But I think they might be thinking, let's just see, how serious this is, and let's not take it off the table just yet. But Jared Bednar did say they both would miss weeks.
Yeah.
So, and it does sound like Toews will be back whenever that is before Landeskog does. That's where we're at.
I get the unfortunate impression that Landy, I'm glad that they're still hopeful, and I legitimately hope that is a true hopeful that he will be available, because I know, like I said on the last one, I think it's probably a huge deal to him to be able to play in it.
Mm-hmm.
If he can't go for the Olympics, the Avs kind of luck out that the tail end of his recovery is the Olympic break, and he can get back to healthy to come back onto the team as everybody else is returning to the ice. So I'm wishing him the speediest of recoveries. The injury designations in the NHL are just so frustrating at times, though, because it's like, oh yeah, not only are we not going to tell you what it is, we'll tell you what half of the body it's on, but we'll give you an extremely vague week to week, which legitimately could be up to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And go from there. Have fun.
Yeah.
So
I know. And you did get some talk on Blackwood too. They were going to reassess him when they got back to Colorado after this road trip. So maybe we'll get an update on that. As far as the Landeskog thing goes, like I'm still holding out hope until they give you like an official designation of, maybe, I mean, he's going to be out. The weeks part has been said. It's out there.
yeah.
Maybe it's not as bad as it ends up to be once they do x-rays and tests. Sometimes you just hold out hope where it's like, wow, that looked really bad, but miraculously it's not the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So still holding out hope for that. Maybe that's just me being an optimist, but the optics of it clearly did not look good.
They don't. And I'm also trying to be optimistic. And like I said, I think my optimism is he might be able to play for Sweden, but
Maybe
there's no way, in my opinion, in my very highly educated, because I watched House and Scrubs when I was younger. So, I'm clearly qualified. I don't think he can come back before that Olympic break, though. That was.
Have you watched The Pit?
Not yet. You've recommended it. I haven't turned it on yet.
Season 2 starts Thursday.
All right.
That show is wild.
If I didn't have a day job, I'd binge it tomorrow.
I mean, if you add that to your repertoire of medical shows, then I would take whatever you say for Gabe Landeskog and ride home with it. So go watch that show.
All right.
All right. So let's see. What do we got here? I mean, stats wise, there's nothing really that jumps out. If you want to get into Corsi and stuff like that, Tampa's got the advantage in 5-on-5. And for all situations, the Avs actually beat them by one shot directed towards the net, 68-67. Honestly, like I want to say this, and I don't want people to after what we've been talking about, like I thought it was a pretty not evenly matched game. It was going in after Tampa controlled the play. I don't want to say that they didn't, but there were moments where I liked what the Avalanche were doing. It was just difficult for them to do that for the full 60.
Yeah,
and knowing that, and knowing how Tampa plays, and that it is going to be a challenge. But the Avalanche were there. They were right there. So, yes, not their best game by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't think you're going to have your best game against a team like Tampa. That's a lot to ask, to have your best game against a team like Tampa. Did they need to play better? Yes, and they have to play better if they ever see them again, which they're done for the regular season, so it'll be in the cup final if that happens.
Only chance to see them again is in the cup final, and assuming the Avs make it, I want Detroit.
Yeah, that would be so good. So good. But there were moments in this game where it was that back and forth, and the team that picked it up when they needed to was Tampa.
Yeah.
And not Colorado. So
yeah,
I think that the numbers might be a little bit, you look at those like, oh, of course he's pretty close. Fenwick's pretty close. High danger chances, kind of close. Like things look like they're, it's not like Tampa ran away in the stat department and analytics department. But what you saw with your eyes was Tampa was a better team.
100%. Eye test definitely says that. I also would be really curious to see, because the Avs had on natural stat trick, I'm looking right now, a 64.29 Corsi 4 percentage. I really want to know, if you take away the last 3 minutes, what that number is. Because if they got 10 different towards the net shots, then all of a sudden you're barely above 50%. And it's a lot closer in those opportunities. So I completely agree. The numbers do look relatively close. I do think the Avs played, some pieces not terrible. But I do think that Corsi and some of their stats are going to be a little inflated by the moment when all of a sudden they were like, oh, by the way, we're really good at hockey. Let's go do that. And that's what they did for 4 minutes. That just was too little too late.
Yeah, way too little too late. Yep. Want to get over on subtext and see what they got. All right. So Katie says disappointed, but I don't think they played horrible. Tough road trip. Ready for them to get back home for some ball arena energy. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
simple, but yeah. Like, yeah. Do I think they played horrible? No, I've seen horrible hockey. I wouldn't call it horrible. What would I call it? You know what? My sound check will say what I think they
Okay.
would. All right, yeah. So
Perfect.
hold up to that.
Perfect.
Adam says that was a tough game, tough road trip. Glad the next 2 weeks are at home because they need a little bit of time to regroup here. Thought they could have won this game, but the effort was not there until the last 2 minutes. Would have loved to see Cale hit the net. He's been missing wide a little too much as of late. I have faith things will get back on track. Yeah, we talked about Cale yesterday, and I kind of said the same thing. I thought he played a much better game today. I thought he did. I do.
I thought he had a bit of a rough game.
Really?
And not totally on him either. But like the
Mhm.
one backdoor goal, he got out positioned, he got outworked to get into that spot
It's
to
a
let that
tough one
in.
for him. Yeah, and
And then-
Riker was talking about that goal. Like, that's how quickly things can change. And that, like,
Yeah.
he positionally he was okay. I think it was just a good move on
It was, and
Tampa's player.
I do want to give them credit as well. But and there was one of the other goals too. It felt like Cale got beat. And credit to the other player.
Yeah.
I'll go back through. We'll continue on with subtext.
Yeah. No, but I thought he was in, like, his puck possession was a lot better in this game than the Florida game. Just seemed like it was fighting the puck all game. That could have been because of the ice, but who knows?
Yeah.
Christina says the push came a little too late. Boys were a little sloppy. Too many bad turnovers. Really disappointed. Not having Gabe cannot mean the team forgets how to play. They hoist the cup in that barn. That's true.
Yeah.
Apparently they forgot. On a happier note, was glad I got to take a Disney breather and support the boys nonetheless. Well, good for you, Christina. You're in the house of the mouse right now. Also, their barn is pretty sick and the seats are nice. We'll see the Bolts back at Ball for the rematch. No. Oh, she said, just kidding. Not sure why I thought we played them again. No, it's already. Yeah, she was there. She was at the game. She sent a picture.
Nice.
Sporting the Avs jerseys.
Awesome.
Good for
Love
you.
to see it.
In the Benchmark International Arena. Rolls off the tongue.
I know. It's a great name. Great name.
Yeah.
So I did just look it up. It
Yeah.
was the Hagel goal, their go-ahead goal in the third. It looked like Cale kind of danced towards the inside and everybody left Hagel. I don't know if Hagel was actually Cale's guy in that situation, but it kind of looked like he might have been. So that was the one I was thinking of. But like I said, I don't think he necessarily had a bad game, and I do want to give a ton of credit to Tampa Bay for doing what they did.
Yeah.
I can't take away from them, especially on their 8-game winning streak. They've earned what they've got, it seems like, so far. So
yeah, I'm watching the play now, and it looks like, so it's Kucherov with the puck. Nelson's on him. Kucherov up against the board, or he passes. Okay, so it's kind of like, who's that? I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Crozier.
Yeah.
Or is it Crozier?
Yeah. I don't know.
Is it a French name? He kind of beats who is it? I think it might be Val, and kind of Cale's in that, like, I got to take somebody here, and he's either got to go get the puck or stay on his man, and it's a nice play.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just that's another one that it just felt like kind of an unfortunate position, and it's not totally. But those are the types of things that I also feel like is where Cale Makar all of a sudden you go, oh my God, that's why he's the Norris Trophy winner every year, because he does make defensive plays like that.
Yeah.
And tonight he didn't, and you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, I get it.
So, I mean, kind of allowed to do that.
It would be nice to see them in the cup again, though, because things got a little testy towards the end there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Which is nice to see. I think both teams were. I don't think one team was in the wrong. The one, throwing MacKinnon,
Radish.
I was going to say full Nelson, not a full Nelson, the clothesline, whatever you want to call it.
Just like
the
headlock and
the headlock. There you go.
It was
that wasn't really needed. Other than that, I thought everything was fine. I'm all for that stuff. So, all right, let's get our sound check in here. This is where we pick one song each that summarizes the most recent game. Put these songs up on a playlist over on Spotify and on YouTube Music, which you can follow these playlists if you just search for LOA Soundcheck Volume Number 5 is where you can find these ones. So, what do you got for this?
So this one I'm going with a original. It's a country song, but it's covered by the band All That Remains.
Okay.
And a really good cover of it.
Okay.
It is The Thunder Rolls and the All That Remain cover.
So isn't that a Garth Brooks?
Yep,
song?
Sure is.
Okay. And I don't listen to country music, but I think everybody knows that one.
Pretty much, yeah.
Is part of the reason you had to do covers because I don't think Garth Brooks songs are on Spotify.
That's part of it, but also, especially with the added angst and anger, All That Remains kind of metal sound that gets added to it works really well. Right. So I thought that worked, and yeah, this is
and we don't really allow country music on the sound checks either. Just
I'm gonna sneak a couple more in.
Oh, please don't. Please don't. I can't stand country music. I
have eclectic music tastes.
I like the Thunder Rolls theme in that one though, because it's accurate. It's true. I said the song I was going with kind of like encapsulates how the Avalanche kind of played this game. So very simply, System of a Down, and the name of the song is Tentative.
Yep, perfect.
There you go. I thought when I saw that, I'm like, that's it. So, which is odd. Just odd for an Avalanche team to really kind of play that way because you feel like they're the aggressors. Hey, we're going to impose our will. This is our style of game. You need to stop us over the course of 60 minutes, which is tough to do. But it seemed like they were a little bit tentative in spots. And maybe some of it was you just want to make a mistake because Tampa will make you pay for it.
Yeah.
They did. So, not the end of the world. Another loss. You're still way up on the entire world here. So go home, 7 games, knock them all out.
Yeah.
Let's do that. All right. That will wrap it up for today. So thank you everybody for tuning in, making it your first listen of the day. That is always appreciated. We will be back tomorrow with anything else going on in Avalanche Nation. We'll be talking about that. So make sure you're tuned into that episode. But for this, thank you again for tuning in, making it your first listen of the day. He's Mr. Zach Pearson. I am Chris Micieli. This is the Locked On Avalanche podcast. We'll see you guys tomorrow, where, of course, you will have made it through another 24 hours where Sidney Crosby's that much closer to being with the Colorado Avalanche.